am here with GENO, and GENO is married to Crystal. He, right now, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing.
I work at the University of Dayton. I'm their fine arts studio coordinator.
Ah, okay.
So I manage all their facilities, and then I teach their wheel throwing classes.
Oh, okay, and I really suck at the wheel. I could use some lessons. No, you know what? I have lower back problems, and that's why I avoid the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really afraid of, like, totally throwing my back out and everything. What are you doing with the brush over here?
I'm putting my signature on all the pieces.
Okay, can we see this here?
Yeah. So
and what are you doing that with?
Iron oxide.
Iron oxide,
Yep.
and
So
that looks like a very stiff brush that you're using.
Tiny little brush.
Tiny little brush, okay. And you're affiliated. You're currently not a renter here.
No.
But in the past, you were affiliated with this place, but I'm not quite sure how.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I was hired as the studio tech here at Pottery, and it was the first time there was a tech. So previously,
and how long ago was this?
This was about 8 years ago.
Okay.
Previously, the manager or the director had always also done the tech job.
Okay.
And they thought that it would be better to bring somebody with a business experience and then somebody else with the tech experience.
I see.
Lisa Walters was hired as the manager at that point, and then I was hired as the tech.
Okay. And how long were you a tech?
I worked here just as the tech for 4 years.
Okay.
Then we created another position. It was the tech and resident artist for a little while. And then those positions split into 2 different people. And then up until now, I've functioned in a kind of volunteer role as the wood kiln manager.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, because we built this kiln, I think it was 6 years ago. So it took 2 years after I got here to fundraise and get all the materials together, and then a group of me and a group of the members here built the kiln.
Oh, can we go out to the kiln and talk about?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Here we go. Come on. Whoa. Here we go. GENO, tell me about building this kiln.
So this kiln, the design of it was based on John Teese and Bill Van Gilder designed kiln called a Manava Gama kiln.
Okay.
And the key to it, why we built this kiln, was that they designed it so that a novice could build it. So it's on a half brick dimension, meaning you only have to cut, the most you have to cut brick is 1 1/2.
Okay.
And then the other key feature is this cast concrete key.
Okay.
So instead of getting that catenary arch to meet perfectly, you just get it to a certain point and then cast the high temperature concrete into that void.
I see, I see. How long did it take to build this particular kiln?
It took about 2 months.
And was it you and how many people?
Me and on and off about 4 other people.
Okay.
About 800 man hours.
Okay. Wow.
In on the build.
Okay.
We poured there was a kiln here, and originally it was an old salt kiln that had collapsed in on itself. We took that kiln out. We poured the concrete pad, and then started the build.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the brick were donated by a member.
Okay.
And we bought about a quarter of the brick, the arch bricks. We had to buy the floor bricks. We had to buy the chimney. Most of those brick are from the old kiln that was there.
I see. Yeah. So approximately how much money would you say was spent on this particular kiln?
Yeah, we spent about $3,000.
Okay.
And it was that low cost because we had most of the materials already.
I see.
And labor. Yeah, and so there's a huge amount of volunteer labor.
Okay, so that makes a big difference.
We didn't pay for any labor.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You said 800 man hours?
Yeah.
So $10 an hour, that's
right.
8,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess if I want to kill in my backyard,
yeah.
I'm going to have to get a bunch of people out there because I won't be able to afford to pay someone to do it.
And so we did. So for raising those funds, we came up with 2 unique ways to do it. One was the members, and the members all prepaid for firing. So everyone who was here who was enthusiastic about the project at that point, they all donated money and put it in. That was about a third of it. About a third of it was the pottery itself, put in about a third of the money. And then the Yellow Springs Community Foundation funded the last third.
Oh, cool. I heard your daughter likes to play in the mud.
She does, yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, she loves to have her hands in clay. And
but your wife said she didn't like it that much.
About half the time, when I'm headed to work, she's asking me if I can bring some clay home.
Okay. And why do you think people should come to John Bryan Community Pottery?
I think it's a unique environment that has a huge range of facilities and a huge range of different people using those facilities. There's the students, the young kids who are just learning. There's our classes, there are hobbyists, and then there are folks who are really starting out on their careers. So
are you saying everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
and
about.
for me, so personally, it's the jumping off point for my career. To set up a facility like this or build a wood kiln on my own financially would be impossible starting out. And a lot of folks find themselves in a similar position. I was out of undergrad, had school support through all of my training up to that point. And then I reached a point where I had no facility to work, but I wanted to continue to pursue wood firing, and then also firing the gas kiln and raku and all the other interests. And so this place gave me that possibility.
Now, Rebecca and I both agree that this is a very cost-effective place to play.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that as an artist?
Yeah. And comparatively, we did a lot of work across those 8 years that I've been here, looking at everyone else's numbers about how other community organizations like this run. And so the village of Yellow Springs being so supportive by giving us next to no rent for the building itself makes it possible for us to be so accessible. And we're about half the cost of the norm.
Okay. And I hope this place has a long, long life.
I think so, yeah. It has, leading up to here, it's changed a lot, but we're going on 45 years of running and having that
45 years. Wow,
yeah.
That's really cool.
And it started out, their origins were a group of potters who wanted to share facilities, and so they pooled their resources to develop the studio. And had no intention of offering classes or being a community resource. It was a personal resource, and most of those potters still live here in town. And that's another reason that I moved here, was that it's not well known for it, but there are about 30 potters living in and around town, making their full living off of making pots, which is really rare to find. That's
just something else. That can't be that common.
No, and an endless resource, and they're all accessible. So as I was working across that, one potter, Bruce Grimes, spent hours out here with me firing this gas kiln.
I've met Bruce. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, and then on the wood kiln, Nason has been really supportive of this process. Anytime we have questions. And then we in turn support them as well. So if somebody's out of a glaze chemical, they can come down to the pottery. And also sometimes if they have big projects, they'll come down and make work here.
Thank you for taking time to talk to me. I learned a lot, and you're an awesome guy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Say bye.
Bye.